Hello and welcome to Bullish. I'm your host, Alex Wilhelm. Today we're talking about money, my money, your money, and how we actually move that stuff around. Now, can you remember back to when PayPal was somewhat revolutionary? And do you still recall when online banking was a novelty? Well, in the age of Bitcoin and micropayments and crowdfunding, it can seem almost quaint to think all the way back to the 90s. And that's true because we've made massive progress in making payments and payment tech a lot simpler and more universally available. However, for many people, the financial sphere is still quite out of reach. In 2013, there were 9.6 million US households that were unbanked, meaning they had no banking solution in place at all. And more than twice that many, 24.8 million households, were underbanked, which means that they primarily used financial services that were outside of the normal banking realm. And that's just here in the United States. Globally, the numbers are higher. Compounding that point is remittances, or money sent from one country to the next that can often incur very high fees. And those are just some of the reasons why technologists are working to disrupt and perhaps even break up the current banking system. To tell us more, we have MasterCard's Ed McLaughlin.
As Chief Emerging Payments Officer at MasterCard, Ed McLaughlin's job is to put himself between traditional banking structures and the more open, progressive world of digital payments. As the cash world changes, it'll be interesting to see how large payment shops like MasterCard adapt to new payment technologies, but also use developing tech to one-up their traditional rivals.
Please welcome to the program MasterCard's Ed McLaughlin. Ed, my friend.
Hey, good seeing you.
Good to see you too. Sit down, sit down. Now, quickly before we jump into other things, I have two buckets of money here. I have my smartphone bucket of money and I have these credit cards, which are a different form of money.
Always love the prop work.
Thank you. In 2015, why the hell do I still have two different major buckets of money on my body at all times? It feels redundant, if you will.
Sure. Well, the good news is we're solving for that, and it's not different buckets of money. What we can do is take your card and actually get it into your phone. This is what we're doing with Apple Pay or an Android Pay and a Samsung Pay. Literally, we take what would be on that security chip in your card, and we can use the chips in the device for it. So you basically get access to the account you already have right from your phone.
And is it more secure as a solution than physical cards, or is it less secure?
That's a great question, and that's probably our greatest passion, is we're ensuring that everything we're doing in the digital world can be as or more secure than what you can do in the physical world.
So it's inherently a better solution overall, using new technology to move away from physical cards themselves.
Yeah, I'll give you three things to think about.
Sure.
One of which is we can put a specific number or token on the device, can only be used from that device, and also associate a key so we can make every transaction a one-time transaction. Two, we can use security features on the device, like a biometric thumbprint or something,
which you can't have on the credit card itself,
to make sure you're the person who's doing it, right?
Yeah.
So we've done facial, we've done biometric, other things you can do there. And the third is you're connected. So if anything looks odd or weird, we can talk to you in real time just to make sure it's
my smartphone has that ability to talk up and down to satellites and so forth.
Exactly.
Now, in America, about 2/3 of people have a smartphone, and just over half have a credit card. So there's actually people out there now in this market that are smartphone owners that don't actually have credit cards. So do you think we can build out payment solutions for them that are almost outside of the banking realm, but still predicated on smartphone use itself?
Sure, absolutely. And just like I said, we can enable the smartphone to use the MasterCard network, whether it's a credit account, if it's your DDA in bank with your debit card, or a lot of work we're doing with prepaid around financial inclusion, so you can connect to wherever you have your funds electronically. So you don't have to have a credit card.
So on the point of financial inclusion, there's a lot of talk now about the underbanked and the unbanked at all, and not just here in America, but really a global problem. And so I'm curious, how are you investing as a company now to bring those people in from the cold in a way and have them have better access to banking solutions and especially payment technology?
Yeah, we have a pledge. We're working right now to bring the next 500 million people into the financial system using MasterCard technologies. So we're working.
But why 500 million? That's a very specific number.
That's we worked with the World Economic Forum, and that's our pledge of what we're doing for that. So working with government agencies and NGOs around the world to get the benefit of electronic payments to people that are out there. And the whole point is, now that they're connected, we can reach and help them in ways we never could with plastic cards and our traditional partners.
Well, I mean, the remittances market, which is a very, very important functional way to move money around the world, and it's very common, is noted for its very, very high fees, very high fee structures, and especially on these low dollar payments, people are paying very high fees, which is almost, in my view, a regressive tax on the poor. So are you guys building out ways to move money around the world more efficiently at a lower cost profile for these, next 500 million people?
It's a great example of the superiority of pure electronic distribution, right? A lot of those high fees are the cost of handling the cash, getting the cash in, dispersing cash back out.
I see.
So we have a network, we call it our HomeSend network, which is a pure electronic network to get funds to people. I can give you one great example of that. working with a bank in Zimbabwe. Over 30% of the GDP is inbound remittances, right?
30% of their total GDP is inbound money from.
So we can get that money flowing in electronically, incredibly efficiency, and have it land right in the mobile wallet of the consumers that have it. And then we let them use the MasterCard network to make payments off of it.
So because you can actually give them a solution to use the money once they get transferred to them, you don't mind charging less for the transfer itself.
Right, but the key point is, once that money is now available electronically, there's a new divide. Right? All of these people now have connection to internet and online, but they don't have that 16-digit MasterCard number. They don't have the passport that allows them to interact and transact.
Do we need a new kind of account then, or a new kind of account system to allow people to have access to small amounts of credit and the equivalent of a checking account, but in a smartphone-based world?
Well, what we're doing is we're providing these accounts. A lot of it starts with government benefit distributions, inbound remittances, other ways of getting the funds to people electronically. Once we have it there, then we can use the existing networks and systems to allow them to use it.
Now, I have a pet hobby topic that I can't let you go away with.
All right.
So Bitcoin has been this massive topic in the last, I want to say, year and a half. And it's matured some, the price has stabilized, and it's become more of an accepted technology. So I'm curious, are you guys using Bitcoin or the blockchain or any sort of cryptocurrency, or are you playing with it? What's your take?
We've done a lot of work on blockchain. We have dedicated teams in MasterCard labs that work with that, and we're constantly looking to see how we can absorb and adopt technologies to make what we do better. I think Bitcoin as a currency itself needs to play out.
Okay.
What most consumers say to us is they want all of this stuff to work together. So the whole idea is people will use what's better.
Right.
And right now we believe using a MasterCard against the accounts you have is a better environment.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the very first MasterCard Bitcoin Zimbabwe branch. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, really good seeing you. Take care.
Bullish airs every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and you can find it here on TechCrunch.com.